everybody. My name is Julian. I'm an ancient Babylonian astrologer, and I was invited by Nadiya to make a video for all of you talking about this ancient magical science, really. And I wanted to focus on this upcoming Mercury retrograde because there's a huge amount of information there, all packed into one little transit, really. So what I do is the ancient tradition, it goes back absolutely thousands of years, and we look at all kinds of things, all kinds of details. I'm going to add a lot to what the modern astrology uses and looks at, so houses and signs and things like that. I'm going to look at decans. I'm going to look at, if I have time, some even smaller degrees in there, and stars. Stars are the most interesting. I've got my trusty stack of books here to help me if I need it. And I want to jump right into this upcoming Mercury retrograde, and which has already started, actually. We're already in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde right now. And I just spent about 2 hours trying to figure out how to get my equipment to record this freaking video, and it didn't work, so now I'm using my phone. So hopefully that all works well. But anyway, before I do jump into the details and things, I think it's important that you know a little bit about me so that you know the lens that I'm giving this information through. So I'm a Gemini sun with Leo rising and a Capricorn moon. So you're going to get a very mixed bag in some ways. You're going to get the Leo Gemini and the Capricorn. So I'm going to give it to you straight. Let's put it that way. I'm going to give it to you straight. Honestly, I just like talking about myself. That's all that was. Okay. So, so what's happening right now? If you go out into the evening sky right now and you look at the sunset and you watch the sun go below the horizon and the darkness come, the nighttime come, what you'll see is just above the sun setting a really bright star in the sky, and that star is Venus. Venus right now is an evening star, and she is Aphrodite. So again, in the ancient tradition, we actually use the mythology, the ancient gods, the ancient heroes and symbols to see what is being shown in the sky. And each planet has 4 different deities associated with it. At least 3. Most of them have 4, but 3 is the main, I guess 4 or 3, let's put it that way. And it's being expanded all the time. Oh my God, my teacher is absolutely on fire, just like figuring it. Yeah, he's crazy. Anyway, so this, if you go outside in the night sky, you see Venus. You see Venus up there, bright as anything, the evening star, and she will be on the path of the sun. And just next to her, like here, Venus is here, and there's another little light right next to her. And it's kind of blue, kind of white, very kind of serene, magical looking light, actually. And that star is Spica. And this is one of the luckiest stars in the whole zodiac. And I go into these details on my page. Why is it so lucky? What's the significance? More details about the meaning of all these things. I have an Instagram, which is Olympus Astrology. Olympus is in the mountain, Mount Olympus, where Zeus sits. And so, so we'll look at this star today to start off with, because not only is Venus there now, but Mercury will go retrograde there in 2 weeks' time. So right now we've got the new moon in Virgo happening, and that will leave this imprint of Venus and Spica together. It'll keep that energy for the next 4 weeks until the next new moon. So it's very spiritual, and that Venus, if everybody knows, is trining Jupiter. So it's very good. It's insanely positive. So Spica, what is Spica about? So Spica is in the ancient world known as the hand of the Virgin, because it's the Alpha Virginis. It's the main star in Virgo. So her signification is of spirituality, of music and art. Virgo is ruled by the muses of Apollo. So music, art, poetry. Venus and Mercury are the planets that rule this star. And it's very spiritual. It's a very spiritual star. And the main theme that it focuses on is actually sexual purity, being the hand of the Virgin. So this Mercury retrograde, this new moon, it's going to really hone in on this idea of sexual purity in our relationships, our close relationships and partnerships, because Venus is going there, Mercury is going to retrograde there, and the Sun and Mars will be there at the end of the Mercury retrograde. So that's really interesting. And also Jupiter will be trining Speaker in his retrograde too. And it's kind of like with this Mercury retrograde, we're getting this, we're closing out the year, really. We're having a look at everything that we've done. It's like we're just going to look at everything that's come up. We're going to be like, damn, I did this great, I did this really bad. You know, we're going to have a full look at the whole year. And then by the end of that Mercury retrograde, we're just going to go, yep, I got it. Great, let's go. Let's move forward. Let's use this incredible wisdom that I've learned, and we'll talk about that, in a new way, in a way that suits me and makes my life better. It makes everyone's lives better, hopefully. So yeah, it's just really, really spiritual. And the fact that all of these planets are lining up on this star, and the star is in the tropical zone of Libra. So again, it's going to be all about this communicating about sexuality and spirituality in relationships. So if you're looking for a spiritual partnership, right now is the friggin' time. It is the time. Because of course Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, and he is making a trine with this, first of all, this Venus there, and then, well, the Sun when it comes, and the Mercury retrograde the whole time. And in ancient Babylon, Jupiter was the father of Mercury. Mercury was called Nabu, and Jupiter was Marduk. And Marduk is Zeus, the king of the gods, and Nabu is a bit like Hermes, but is the son. He's the son of Marduk. And so when these two are in a trine, it's, to be honest, it's kind of a decent time to work out issues with your dad, to be perfectly honest. Just because of this mythological relationship, it's a good time to reflect on that intellectually. It's all air, so intellectually reflect on it. And so what will happen, this Mercury will go retrograde, and then by the end of it, it will, what was that noise? It will go direct, obviously, but at the same time, like 1 or 2 days later, Jupiter also goes direct. So it will be this is what I mean, like it's like a cleaning out. Saturn will go direct, then Mercury will go direct, then Jupiter will go direct. I didn't even really look at the outer planets. I was too caught up in the ancients didn't really consider the outer planets a huge amount. And we should definitely, but we need to understand that the outer planets, because we can't see them, they're subconscious. They're things that we can only really guess about. You know, we can't say for sure, yeah, that was, you know, this Saturn thing. You know, we can say, well, pretty sure that was Uranus, but I don't know. Could have been something else. So it's very unconscious, it's dark. Literally, you can't see them. You can't see your unconscious. You can't see these stars in the sky. So that's the influence that they have. Okay, so I wanted to read to you the way Hermes Trismegistus, oh, that light's terrible, the way Hermes talked about Speaker. This is one of the oldest texts, and it is the best text on the fixed stars. You want to watch out reading too much about fixed stars, because there's some not so accurate information out there. So what does he say here about Speaker? If you find one of these 3 stars, one of them being Speaker, in the ascendant or the MC, the person will be famous and illustrious, rich and fortunate, of great knowledge, elevated, a philosopher, has many skills, a lot of compassion, takes pleasure in singing, and who has many servants, loves children, is peaceful, spirited, quick to help. All his works will be good, of good profession, and thorough in everything he does. Lucky, truthful, he makes everything from his own ingenuity, and does not do anything but by wisdom and knowledge. So as you can see, it's a very, very positive omen to have this star activated right now. We also have coming soon the Heliacal rise of Regulus, which is the other really lucky star. Zoroaster said that Speaker and Regulus are the 2 luckiest stars in the sky, and it's because they're so close to the path of the sun. So you'll be able to see Regulus will be born as a morning star. So you have to wake up early to see him, and I'm not very good at that, so I'm still figuring that out, how to build my schedule around morning star appearances. So it's a very lucky time, basically. Let's put it that way. It's very lucky, very spiritual, it's a time of opening our hearts. It's a time of connecting with others really deeply. And this new moon for the next couple of days is a time for going inward, for reflection, spending time with yourself to clear your mind. It's Virgo new moon, right? So it's all this crazy Mercury stuff. The new moon is dark, so going deep into that crazy Mercury stuff, the thinking, the intelligence. And what are we thinking about? We're thinking about Venus conjunct Spica trine Jupiter. So it's like we're at the moment a channel for wisdom about relationships, about sexuality, about music and art, about love relationships for sure, and also being very harmonious with people. Being very not just nurturing, but giving in a little bit. To create more harmony. It is now 11 seconds into this recording. I love that. So yeah, giving in. And not in a bad way, not in like a cowering giving in. I mean like from a point of strength, being accommodating of other people's needs, and forgiving them, having forgiveness, having real virtue. The star is about virtue and light. And you can see that if you look at the light of Spica, it's got this spiritual light, this light blue, white light. It's absolutely an incredible, incredible star. Definitely a sight to behold. So you want to see Venus with Spica right now. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so so the new moon the new moon and all that stuff, all done. One of the themes that I really got to with this Mercury retrograde, it's like we're starting off by looking at the feminine side of things. Venus and Libra, Venus with Spica, it's it is very feminine. It's very spiritual, it's very internal, it's very soft and graceful and artistic, poetic, musical. It's very, very peaceful. So we're having this more feminine side to start off with, this period right now, actually. And so, but then by the end of the Mercury retrograde, Venus is then conjunct Antares. And Antares, oh my God, if you look at it, it's the heart of the Scorpion. And it's this bright red star in the sky, huge red thing. It's a beautiful star, but totally different energy when you look at it versus Spica. So it's like we're balancing the masculine and the feminine polarity, because Antares is ruled by Mars and Jupiter, I believe. Yeah, Mars and Jupiter. And it's about war, actually. It's a military star, which is all about rebellion and fighting for the truth. It does have a spiritual connotation as well. So it is very spiritual this time. This period, this Mercury retrograde will be very, very spiritual. Enjoy the luck and the wisdom and the grace that is given in this time. It will be immense. And so masculine and feminine polarity, and balancing the relationships with our partners, with our friends, but also inside ourselves. And then, of course, at the end of the Mercury retrograde, also Mars and the Sun will be together with Spica. So we come back to this. It's like we come back to this because Aphrodite will be with Antares, Mars and the Sun will be with Spica. So it's like we start off with very soft, very flow, very soft, very harmonious. And we're tentatively moving into these new ideas about relationships and sexuality and love and poetry and art and all this stuff. And by the end of it, we're like, yep, I got it. I friggin' know what I believe now, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go hell for leather. I know who I am around these topics, and I'm ready to fight for them. That's Antares. I'm ready to fight. And of course, Mars and the Sun, to shine, to fight, to be in the spotlight. So, very, very interesting times coming. I'm really, really looking forward to this till the end of October. It'll be pretty fantastic. So we could say about a month. The Mercury retrograde goes through end of September until like 16th of October or something. Jeez. This is the whole Mercury retrograde. The last solar eclipse was with my Mercury. So all my details are just totally off. Don't even ask me to get to get like all these, you know, lots and lots of details correct. I got most of them. I'm a Gemini. I can do most of them, but man, my notes are all over the place. Okay, so I wanted to also look at, this is one of my other teacher's books. This is the Babylonian Astrolabe, and that light is absolutely not helping. But what we have in here is something very special. Have a look at, oh yeah, have a look at this. There we go. This is the Sphero Mundi, or Sphero Mundi, basically the spheres around the Earth. And what this little diagram shows is the gods that rule the decans. So I'm going to go into the ancient symbolisms here. And Mercury will turn retrograde in the decan ruled by Nemesis. Now that is some fire. If ever I saw some fire, it's there. The decan ruled by Nemesis. So Nemesis is the ancient Greek god of, she basically deals out punishment to the proud, to people who are too proud, who have hubris, you know, who are too big for their boots and have too much, you know, they don't appreciate the good that they've been given. So we may be struggling mentally with some with thoughts about revenge, or we'll be resolving them in this time, or both actually. We'll be struggling and resolving them in this time. This Mercury retrograde, this idea of wanting revenge, of wanting to deal out punishment, you know, and who are we to do that? So this Mercury retrograde is going to be really about looking within and reflecting on our anger, our hidden resentments, hidden angers, hidden desire to punish other people that have wronged us. Because, you know, Nemesis doesn't just punish people, it's because they've done something wrong. But with the spirituality of this energy coming up, as well as the Jupiter trine, which is all about forgiveness. Jupiter is Jesus, the greater benefic on the Mount of Olives, Mount Olympus. So he's all about forgiveness and mercy and grace. And so it's about, we're learning now to give mercy and grace to the people that have wronged us. And I don't think we will have any trouble with that, honestly. Speaker, Jupiter, Venus, everything, I don't see any problems with us being able to do that, but this will be the theme. So if these things come up, stay with it and process it and deal with it, because this is all intended by the gods. Now, what else have we got? So the retrograde will then finish in the decan of Ocasio, which is where we get the word occasion. And in the arenas in ancient Greece, they would have an offering statue to Ocasio, the god of occasion, because, you know, when you're fighting in an arena, you have to rise to the occasion. You have to rise to the opportunities that present themselves. So Ocasio, it's like we have this deep reflection and this healing, this grace, this mercy, this development of virtue in the Mercury retrograde. And then when it finishes, it's like we're ready to carpe diem, to seize the day, to go for the things that we really want, to take the opportunities that are sitting right in front of us. You know, we're really ready for that. It's very positive, actually. It's almost like, if I could relate this to my own story with the whole Nemesis thing, it's like this inner resentment and our success, they're at odds. You know, and so as we clear this resentment through the retrograde period with Nemesis, we open up the pathway into our success, which will be really cool to see happening. In this time, we will also have a full moon in Pisces. Oh no, hold on, that's before the Mercury retrograde. We'll have a full moon in Pisces coming up, which will be interesting. But we'll have a full moon in Libra and the new moon in Libra. So it's really about relationships. I mean, what else can you say? Libra and Aries, it's coming back to a sense of ourself in relationship, healing the wound of our personal power, not feeling like we have agency and personal power. So it starts, of course, with the new moon in Libra. This is the whole relationship reboot that we're going through right now. That's the way I'm thinking about it. And then it finishes with the full moon in Aries, which is going to the full moon arc will cross Chiron. So it will be very much so healing this wound of the self, and bringing light to it, shining light on the wound of the self, because Chiron is also invisible. You can't see it in the sky, so it's unconscious. It's all happening in the background. And I wrote here, adapting a new self-empowered relationship story. Oh, whoops. Adapting a new self-empowered relationship story. Jeez, I can't read. Yeah, so there you go. It's integrating an understanding of others and myself, and how we relate to each other. How do I keep my boundaries and you keep yours? How do we respect each other well? How do we get along together? It's a great time to be starting a relationship, actually. A very good time. I wouldn't start with new moons, they are dark. The darkness is strong, so you want to wait until the moon has its first appearance. Depending on your latitude, that's about when the moon is 20 degrees away from the sun, something like that. Okay, right now Mars is invisible. You can't see Mars in the sky, and that is important. Mars is important. When Mars is invisible, he's the god Pan. And Pan is the goat god who rules our most basic sexual drives. So we have this, there is a bit of darkness here with the Pan, the incredible, there's something about, the theme is sexuality right now. I don't know. Look, man, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. We have the fuel with this invisible Mars, which does give a challenge. But we have the fuel to use it to integrate the wisdom that we're getting from Jupiter and Venus and Spica and Mercury retrograde. So it will be very, very positive, again, I think. If we can work with that energy, understanding sexuality, going a bit deeper, reading about it, like what does it all mean? Do all that, do the hard yards around sexuality, around relationships, actually, is really the bigger thing. And also, at the end of this Mercury retrograde, he will be the morning star, Apollo. He's Hermes right now, so we're all thinking mental, and at the end he'll be Apollo, so we'll have inspiration. And when he appears as Apollo, Saturn and Jupiter will be evening stars. This is more feminine and softer. So when Saturn and Jupiter are morning stars, we are climbing, we're ambitious, there's a goal that we're trying to reach. We want to improve our lives, we want to change everything, we want to affect people, we want to be active, we want to grow ourselves, grow our businesses, grow our lives, grow our friends, all this stuff. When they're evening stars, which they will be by the end, again, masculine to feminine polarity, when they're evening stars, they're more feminine. They're more about others. They're more about giving, supporting, loving other people. Jupiter evening star is about charity. It's about doing good deeds for others, giving back to the world. So this will be really interesting to see, because it's almost like we're coming into a place of soft power. If we want to think about it, perfect world, we come into gentle power by the end of this Mercury retrograde. And we really understand not only what our ambitions are, which is what this whole year has been with the morning stars, but we'll understand how we want to give back through that ambition. So that's very positive. That is a loud plane up there. And also, in this point of the Mercury retrograde, the Sun will trine the North Node. So when Mercury stations retrograde, the Sun will make a trine with the North Node, and this is very significant, actually. Because that will last the whole Mercury retrograde chart, in my opinion, the whole Mercury retrograde cycle. And it's a separating trine. There will be a wide trine on the Libra new moon, very wide. But basically this is just manifesting our destiny, our destined purpose. This is, however, the North Node, it also shows a bit of darkness, because the North Node is our desires. What do we want from this material life, and the North Node gives us those things, but that's not what we're truly seeking. If we're seeking joy, we're not going to find it in this world of forms. We're going to find it in the world of heaven, the world of Olympus, the world of Nirvana. So, what this is really telling us, there's lots of good stuff coming. The purpose is manifesting. The soul and spirit is manifesting physically. Be careful not to get lost in the status or the money or the fame or whatever it is. It's social media at the moment because it's Gemini, right? So yeah, just don't get lost in the enjoying of earthly pleasures. All right, so let's jump into the signs now, how this is going to affect each of you. I don't do this super detailed. It's just a crap load of details that I don't really have time for. I feel like you guys can do this yourself. I want to really give you the power to do this yourselves, actually. I want you guys to be able to look at your chart. Okay, I'm an Aries, whatever. Okay, so this is going to take place in these houses. And then from what I've said about the stars and the aspects and the transits and the changes in the energy, you can see where that's going to take place. But we will go over this quickly. So for Aries, this Mercury retrograde is in the 7th house. So it's all about relationships for you, baby. It's all about partnerships, understanding how others see you in relationships. Definitely how others see you. And this can be positive and negative. It can be, with this transit, it will be more positive, definitely. So don't worry too much about that. But it's you're learning. You're learning about how you, it's almost like how you can inspire others with that Jupiter trine. Venus will move through your 8th during this period. So it is a time of going deep, of really doing some trauma work around your relationship history, your love history. How do you relate to love psychologically? In fact, in ancient astrology, the 8th house doesn't rule sex. So for everybody who's waiting for me to talk about sex here, it's not a theme. The 8th house is your traumas, your secrets, your sudden events and karma and death and rebirth, all that stuff, you know. So it's really a time for Aries to be rebirthing their attitude to relationships, how they see themselves in relationships, you know, being more in your power. This is also, this retrograde will get you to restart your life. You'll be preparing, you know, you will be a bit low energy. It's a full moon coming in your 12th house in Pisces. And then at the end of the retrograde will be the full moon in Aries, where you come back to a new cycle. But the full moon in Pisces you will need to take some time out. You will need to chill, you know, for this period. You definitely will need to just let things go, let them dissolve, let relationships dissolve, people go away, be a bit disconnected from things, you know, let them come and go as they will. And by the end of it, with that new full moon, after all the reflecting, inner work, spiritual work, retreating that you've done, you'll be roaring and ready to go for sure. All right, Taurus. So the 6th house is where the Mercury retrograde will be happening. So you're going to want to watch your health at that time. Definitely want to watch your health. But it is lots of positive aspects. So you may be working out something about your health, about your daily routine, your diet, your fitness, and even this can be a house of bad relationships as well. So it's time to work out your difficult relationships, shall we say. Can be. Venus through the 7th. So you're working out your daily routine. You're working out the 6th house is traditionally the house of misfortune, of bad luck. And so it is more challenging of a house. You're working through some of the difficult things you've been through now. You know, you're going into all the tough things that you've gone through, you know, all the distancing from people, the trauma, the things that you would title as bad luck. You're going back and looking at it, and Venus through the 7th, it's asking you to really have a look at, again, how you are in a partnership, but on a day-to-day basis. How you can renew or review your own habits in relationship, your own routine in relationships. If you're in a relationship, routine in your current one. If you're not in a relationship, your daily life, that sort of, or habits, how you live, whether that attracts a partner, you know, whether your daily life, your habits, whether that is accommodating to bringing somebody else into your life. Whether you want that or not, you're going to be thinking about it because this is Venus and speaker and all this stuff. So it's going to be relationship stuff. And also with the full moon, there will be a focus on social groups, completing a cycle, reflecting on your friends, you know, going, you will be reviewing your friendships, actually. Full moon in Libra, in Aries. New moon in Libra, full moon in Pisces, full moon in Aries as well. Oh my God, it's complicated. So the full moon in Pisces that's coming up, that will be reviewing your friendships, coming to a conclusion. And that will happen just before the Mercury retrograde, which we kind of are already in, as I've been saying. So it will still have that flavor of reflecting about your friendship groups. You know, are these really the people I want to hang out with? Do I really feel at home here? Is this right for me? Things like that. You know, are these the right people for my vibe? Are they my tribe? Is this vibe my tribe? Question mark. Yeah, so that will be very, very positive for you. Look forward to that. For Gemini, the 5th house is activated by the Mercury retrograde, and Venus will move through your 6th and pop out at the end in your 7th conjunct Antares. And you will have also the full moon in the, hold on, full moon? What have I written here? Yeah, in the 10th house. Yeah. The full moon in Pisces in the 10th house. I was reading the wrong line. Man, Hermes is not giving me a break today. So, Mercury retrograde in the 5th house. You're reviewing your romance. You're reviewing, if you've got any planets in the 5th house or in Libra, you're going to be hit with this. It's going to hit you. It's going to really affect you a lot. And that'll be good, though. 5th house is very lucky. It's the house of good luck. So this Mercury retrograde will be incredibly auspicious for you. A lot of flow, a lot of positivity, a lot of growth, a lot of realizing things that you haven't realized before. Ooh, that's spooky and ominous. But social things, you know, and romantic things as well. Again, with you, Aries, and who's the other one? There's one other sign, I can't remember who it is, but you and Aries are the ones who are really focusing on these relationships right now. You're really looking at love and relationships. Literally, it's you're thinking, how do you approach love? How do you think about love? You know, do you have too negative of a perspective on love? You know, Jupiter wants you to expand. It wants you to grow and get more positive and optimistic about love prospects. Venus through the 6th will be about you developing a new routine around your beauty. It's Aphrodite in the 6th house, moving through Scorpio. So very deep. It could even be like the way that you approach sexuality again. Scorpio is sexuality. I guess actually, earlier I said that, yeah, Venus is going through the 8th. Look, the sexuality is just a massive theme right now. So Venus through Gemini's 6th house, it's really the Gemini with the Scorpio 6th, sex is a daily thing. It's something, it's passion. The passion of sexuality is something that you deal with every single day. Strong Gemini people are not at all confused by the idea of being a prostitute, of doing sex for work, or of, you know, hookup culture, the whole thing, just having sex, you know, just sex is not really, again, it's the 6th house. Sex is something that is involved in the every single day of Gemini's life. And I am a sun in Gemini, so actually I kind of understand that. And it's about, with this energy that's coming up, it's about how do you purify that? How do you make it more noble? How do you make it more spiritual, more loving, more honest, more caring, more open, more giving? You know, not giving to the extent of killing yourself, you know, but giving in a sense that giving in a way where you meet yourself. Yeah. Okay, and then the full moon, as I said, in the 10th, that will be a completion in your career cycle, something happening with your career. Maybe could be that you find a job, or you even come to a promotion or something like that. I'm always hesitant to give these big life-changing things just for a full moon, but certainly could be. This will certainly affect your career and your reputation, so you will be in the spotlight a bit this month coming up. People will be looking at you, you'll be seen, you'll be respected, hopefully. And yeah, so enjoy that. Enjoy this transit that's coming up. It's going to be very good. You just got to like fix your habits, fix your daily life. You know, focus on your daily life, on your daily habits, and how you Aphrodite. It's also kind of the body, how you're taking care of your body, and your appearance. You know, so yeah, Cancer on. So the Mercury retrograde will go through your 4th house. This will all be about your family and the way you. These are your inner processes, right? The thoughts that are hidden, the deep. 4th house is how we nurture. It's our mind. It's our. It's kind of our mind, but more our unconscious mind, our habitual mind. And the Mercury there is the thoughts that arise from that habitual unconscious mind, or the thoughts that we have when we're at home or around our family. So you're going to be, or people that you live with as well, if you live with your partner, you know, that will be expanded. You know, it will be the communication, the way that you connect with each other on a deeper emotional level, as I know Cancers love to do. My Venus is in Cancer, so I know all about that shit. You'll just you'll feel like you're melding together somehow, like you're becoming one almost, because that 4th house, it's a bit, you can't really see it, and then you've got Jupiter making a trine with the Mercury retrograde there, so all the thinking and the thought patterns and the Libra, the relationship stuff, the beauty, will be expanded. So all your ideas, talking about your ideas as well and reflecting on your ideas will bring you really close with your partners, with your family, with your the people that are around your home, actually. Simple as that. And it will be more internal as well. You will really go deep. How do you nurture yourself? You're going to really figure out a new way to be kind to yourself, a new way to face challenges, a new way to think about romance. So that will be really, really cool, because the 4th house makes a trine to Jupiter in the 8th. So it's working out your traumas, your family history trauma. Definitely working through family history trauma. And my Venus is in Cancer, so it's family history trauma around love for me, which will be, well, it'll be very good actually, because it's all positive aspects. So what am I complaining about? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Venus will go through your 5th in Scorpio. So that will be really, really interesting to see what's happening for you there. Venus is at home in the 5th house. Venus rules the 5th house. The 5th is the joy of Venus. It's the house of good luck. And Venus is the planet of good luck. Well, with Jupiter, they're the planets of good luck. But anyway, Venus rules the 5th. Just go with that. And this is, so it's, yeah, pleasure, enjoyment, love. You do want to watch out for being overly sexual, because the 5th house with Scorpio there, that's a lot of sexual energy, and Venus is Aphrodite right now. So there's a lot of sexuality. So you definitely want to temper that a little bit if you can. Oh, let me get a drink. Man, I'm just like reading this and I'm like, this applies to me. And yeah, just relating a lot in love. This Mercury retrograde, all that those inner thought patterns, this whole relationship thing that's going on, is even more highlighted for you with that Venus in the 5th, because it's going to bring out the romance side of things, the real, because it's Venus in the 5th, right? It's the real full on, just going out and enjoying everything in life with somebody, with one other person. And it doesn't have to be with another person, but with Aphrodite there, it probably will be, because she's very archetypally the relationship figure. So definitely pay attention to that. That will be a fun transit to have. The full moon in Pisces will be in your 9th house. So you'll come to a completion with study. You may travel. Yeah, you may finish studying. You may even, because that moon in the 9th is going to trine Venus going through the 5th. So you may meet a foreigner. You may start a relationship with a foreign person. Just saying. Yeah, that's going to be good shit. Enjoy that, Cancer. I'm going to enjoy that too. I'm in the middle of starting a relationship with a foreigner right now, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so Leo. Oh, this is me. Okay. I've got a big boots to fill here. This Mercury retrograde goes through your third house, which Libra on the third house. And Venus is moving through our fourth, Scorpio, and the full moon in Pisces will be in our eighth. So a bit similar to Cancer, there's a real, you probably want to watch the video about the bit about Cancer as well, because there we have this trine between the full moon and Venus, and it will really incorporate the fourth and the eighth, which is your family history. Eighth house is trauma. So we're coming to a completion in some kind of psychological trauma work that we've been doing, and healing something in our family history. And this is super true for me. I'm a friggin' Cancer Venus with Leo rising, so this is mega true for me. I've just been in therapy for the whole year, and now I've had a chat with my therapist a couple of days ago, and she said, hey, don't come back for a little while. You're doing great. Like, we're doing great. You're doing great. If you need me, you know where to find me. But let's not even schedule another session because you're doing so well. And I want you to fly on your own now. But this is the completion, coming to a completion in some kind of trauma that I've experienced. And I went to therapy for a very specific trauma. So that is incredibly positive. It is related to the family. The home life will be very harmonious, very positive, very joyful and beautiful. You may be redecorating your home, actually, which is exactly what I'm doing. Man, I'm spooking myself out. What the heck? Wow, okay. And the Mars in the third. So finding a new way to communicate in relationships. The communication for Leos is off the wall right now. Learning how to friggin' communicate, how to balance out, how to communicate in a way that communicates your point strongly, but doesn't make the other person feel, attacked, shall we say, but also doesn't not get the point across. We're finding this balance. We're trying to care, and we're also trying to be strong at the same time. It's a great transit right now, guys. And of course, Jupiter is making trine from the 7th house. So this is partnerships, so communicating in relationships. Again, it's just Libra, 7th house, Venus. What more do I have to say? It's relationships, guys. It's relationships this time of year. Let's enjoy it. All right, that's enough about me, about Leo. Leos are fun. And we're going to jump into Virgo, the Virgin. So this Mercury retrograde is going through your 2nd house. So how you make money. What do you value? What do you put emphasis on in your life? How's your self-esteem doing as well? How do you speak to yourself? How do you think about yourself? You've got a real opportunity, positive opportunity to be more positive in how you speak to yourself, in what your thoughts are, even. How do you affirm your self-esteem? How do you say, you know what, actually I can do this, and then just say it, just keep saying it, and just keep saying it, and then fucking believe it or not, one day you'll believe it. It works. That's how the brain works. So it's a real opportunity to grow your self-esteem, to change the way that you're making money, to change the way that you even want to make money. What do you place value on? Do you place value on giving a certain kind of service or another kind of service? Changing that up. The Jupiter trine will be from the 6th house, so it's also your daily life, your work, your routine. What do you do? How do you serve? So yeah, how do you serve? And how do you, what is your service worth? Let's put it like that. And you're realizing in this month, my service is worth a shit ton more than I thought it was. It's great. It's a really great time for Virgo to build their self-esteem, build their optimism, actually, about their working life. So really look forward to that and make the most of it. Venus is going through your 3rd house, so you will be communicating in a very beautiful way. People will be loving your marketing skills. People will be, you might even be a little bit sexual in the way that you're marketing or communicating, a little bit seductive, a little bit scorpionic, I'm just going to have to plug in my computer. I should have done that earlier. I'll be right back. Oh, fantastic. Is that working? Yeah, it's working. Cool. All right. So we're back. Okay. That is so dodgy. Venus through the third. Yeah. So enjoy that. Enjoy that, definitely. It's going to make a trine to the full moon, which will be in the 7th house, your 7th house. So again, I'm getting really annoyed. I'm just like repeating myself. Just go watch every other sign that I've done. It's the same. It's all communication in relationships. You're coming to a completion in your understanding of how to communicate in relationships, in partnerships, business partnerships, friendships, close relationships, whatever they may be. And you're able to express the Pisces cosmic feelings that you have for people, because Virgo will have this sort of I know a lot of Virgo women for some reason, and they kind of obsess. Pisces is obsession, but it's the daydreaming, the fantasizing, and so you're coming to, and that's good and bad, it can be very good, very romantic, but you're coming to a completion with how you're able to speak, how you're able to communicate the beauty that you see in another person, and it's this kind of cosmic beauty, reconnect them to the cosmos. So that will be very fun. Enjoy that while it lasts. Libra, this is going through your Mercury retrograde in your first house. You're about to have a big pile up over your ascendant or your sun or your moon or whatever point you have that's in Libra that you're curious about. You can take absolutely any planet and make it the ascendant, and then whatever's going on in relationship to that planet is going to have the theme, going to attack the theme of that planet. So if this is your moon, it'll be emotions, sun, your purpose, your career, your even your spiritual life. Ascendant, yourself, just as far as I'm concerned, everything. And yeah, with Venus, love, Mars, passion, Mercury, communication, etc., etc., etc. So for Libra, this is going through your first house. This is you're getting a new identity. You may change the way you look in this coming month. One thing's for certain, though, you will certainly change the way you communicate and think about others, actually. It is yourself, but it's Libra, so you're always thinking about others. Others are yourself. So this is really about coming to a new understanding of relationships and how you fit into them. Your own worthiness, as I've been saying the whole time, your own worth in relationships. It's going to be very, very powerful. You've got a lot of, the trine here is from the 1st to the 5th, which is, again, man, I'm getting so tired of saying this, yourself communicating in relationships, romance, 5th house, romance, passion, pleasure, enjoyment, expanding, all that's expanding in this month, and it's almost like you're reflecting like, well, maybe I haven't let myself enjoy enough, or I haven't let myself be romantic enough, or I haven't let myself be optimistic enough about love, something like that. And you're changing your thought patterns around things that you genuinely enjoy, things that make you genuinely happy, that put you in a bliss state. So that is great. Venus will go through your 2nd house, so that is hopefully some money coming in, new money coming in, definitely. It's not the biggest money transit. It's going to happen every single year, but this is the time of year where it's happening. So yeah, you're definitely having some, can just be a little bit of windfall, literally. And that 2nd house Venus will trine the full moon in Pisces, which of course is going to be in the 6th house, your 6th house. So it's from your services, what you do. Again, similar to Virgo, you might be redefining your service. How you are of service to people. Yeah, you're coming to a completion on. It's almost like you're paying off a karmic debt this month with the 6th house. I remember my 6th house is Capricorn, and the Capricorn moon, oh my God, it's like I was just being attacked by these invisible Mike Tysons who are just like, die, man, take this and take that. And you're kind of going through that a little bit now, but it's all trine Venus, and there's all these other trines going on, so you won't have as bad a time as I did. So you'll be able to let go of some of the hurt that you've experienced, some of the pain that you've gone through, some of these more karmic misfortunes that I've been talking about. So yeah, it's very, very positive, and redefining your values. So maybe you realize, oh shit, I'm worth a lot more than I've been setting myself to be. You know, that can be in pricing or in, you know, your wage or whatever, or the job that you're working. Maybe you want a whole new job, things like that. So it's cool. It's very, very cool. Now, Scorpio, my little Scorpio babies. I love Scorpio energy. It is frightening but amazing. This Mercury retrograde is going through your 12th house. So this is a bit of a tough one. I mean, it's never going to be tough because it's all trine Jupiter, but this is a time for you to really step back, really take a time out, really get more spiritual in the way you see the world, connect with the cosmos. I don't necessarily recommend doing drugs, but if you're going to go do some ayahuasca or something, this is a good time for that. It will really help you sort out your mental world, you know, reconnect your mind with the whole cosmos. So take advantage of that. This is a good time to meditate, to retreat, to go on retreat, to go away, to spend time for yourself, and to really just let go of the stress, actually. Mercury can be the stress, you know, the overthinking, the analyzing all the time. So let go of that a bit in this month. Or you're learning to, actually. You don't have to do it. It's going to happen to you. Venus going through your first house, Scorpio. So you're looking beautiful. You're changing the way you appear. You're feeling very attractive and you're attracting people. People see you as very attractive. So cannot argue with that. The full moon's going to be in your 5th house. So this attraction, this attractiveness of this Venus going through the first, you probably will attract somebody. You will have a completion in your romantic cycle. You know, you either attract somebody or you'll have you'll use your beauty to make the most out of life, to enjoy something a lot, you know, to go out and just enjoy. I don't know. How do you enjoy your life? Go and do it. You know, some people like to party. I really don't like to party. I like to enjoy my life by walking in the forest and reading the Babylonian astrolabe. Kind of. I'm not that much of a nerd, but it's kind of true. So again, this thing of romance is coming up for all the Phrygian signs. So just focus on that, the relationships, and it's almost like for Scorpio, you might retreat from the world and find a relationship. Could be. 12th house is also in Vedic astrology is far away. Is it? It's far away places, I think. Yeah, but it's spiritual travel too. So there's this spiritual Jupiter to the 4th, trining Mercury retrograde in the 12th. This is going to be really interesting, actually. This is connecting. It's like reconnecting your family history to the cosmos. You know, this is really spiritual energy, going deep into your emotion and like receiving guidance in that place of quietness, of peace. So very, very spiritual time for Scorpios now. Just don't get lost in the 5th house shenanigans, the fun. Enjoy it, but don't, as I've been saying in the session, don't over-enjoy it, don't overindulge. Don't get lost in the world of perishable forms that is ultimately not the truth. Now, Sagittarius, Mercury retrograde going through, why does that? Yes, your 11th house. Man, do I know some Saggies who are going to enjoy this. So it is your... Oh, God, this is so funny. My best friend is Sag rising with the Libra sun, so he's going to feel this Mercury retrograde a lot, which is all about how you relate to friend groups and social media. You know, you're gonna find a new positive way to present yourself on social media, to communicate on social media, to communicate with your friends, to 11th to the 3rd. So it's communicate with your friends in your local environment. It may be you also work out it's almost, could have something, yeah. Well, that's not quite the case here because Mercury is in the 11th, but there could be, this is a great time to work out the disagreements or misunderstandings in friendships and groups of people, and a really good time to be even like starting a social media, something like that. it will be very, very positive for you. Venus is going through your 12th, so this is maybe not the most, maybe this is the one sign, yeah, this is the one sign where things are not so romantic. This is the sign where you're having to let go of love a little bit in this time. You're having to step back, you're having to reprogram, you're having to review, you're having to let things go, let it just, Pisces, man, just go with the flow. There's nothing you can do about it, just go with it, surrender. And you will be more, the focus is on friends and how you appear in society, you know, your social status. So that's really, really interesting for Saggies. And the moon, the full moon that's coming, will be in the 4th, trining that Venus in the 12th. So that retreating from relationships that you do, it's going to help you out at home. You're gonna have some completion in your home life, in your family, in your inner world, the way that you nurture yourself. Actually, you're going to really discover a new way of self-care. Actually, I would certainly say that here, that when you take the step back and you connect a bit more with the divine kind of intuitive thing, you have some realizations around, at the full moon time, you'll have some realizations around how to look after yourself better, your emotions, how to care for your inner child better as well. 4th and 5th house together, I always think, together they're kind of the inner child. So enjoy that. Capricorn, my moon in Capricorn, hooray. I get to predict my own future now. Mercury retrograde in the 10th house, so reviewing your career, reviewing the way that you've been appearing in public. It's like a new public image, actually, Mercury retrograde in the 10th, and it's a new positive public image, a new optimistic, expansive, growing, joyful public image. And that will, I mean, it's already happening right now with the Venus trine Jupiter. Here I am standing on this camera on a channel I've never been before, right? It's in the stars, my friends. So that will be really, really cool. A new public image could be your rethinking your career, but it's not. This is more about like your realigning with the positive opportunities that are already there. That's really what this retrograde is about. So yeah, don't take those opportunities for granted. They will bear fruit eventually. They will bear fruit, and the trine is from the 10th to Jupiter in the 2nd. So it's how you make money as well. So the way that you make money is expanding, it's changing, it's becoming more authentic, more optimistic, more just better. Jupiter is just better. And the way that you're appearing in public is going to complement that. Your public image will complement your new way of making money. Venus going through the 11th, so you will meet new friends, new people. You will be enjoying new social situations, new social circles. People will be enjoying you in new social circles. You may have some quite deep conversations with close friends, with mature friends. And you may also, your relationships or your romantic, however you view romance, will come to some kind of maturity. If you're in a relationship, you'll be more like mature friends at this point. You'll be more like trying to connect in your wisdom about life, what you've learned about life, connect in a way that's more wholesome, more less passionate than the sexual one, right? It's more about being friends. Capricorn's another, okay. Looks like Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aquarius are the only signs that don't have this crazy relationship stuff going on. So cool. I'm glad it's not every single one. I get to actually say something different here. And the moon will trine that Venus going through the 11th in the 3rd house in Pisces. So again, coming to a completion in the way that you communicate, in the way that you use social media, in the way that you market yourself. You're coming to a point of like, yeah, I did pretty good. I'm glad with the way that cycle went, and now I can move on to the next level kind of thing. So that is really, really cool, and that marketing will bring you new social connections, social expansion, social media expansion, all kinds of positive things like that. So look forward to it. Aquarius, my alien friends, my alien babies. Man, I dated an Aquarius, and was she an alien? So, so this Mercury retrograde is going through your ninth house. Very, very lucky for you guys, my friends. This is a great house. This is you reviewing your higher education, your desire to be educated or be qualified at a university, or it's very spiritual also, this house. So this is a time for you to be just very spiritual, talking with spiritual people, talking with, visiting a temple, something like that, doing meditation, reading books, exploring the realm of higher knowledge, watching YouTube videos about spirituality, about religion, about philosophy, just getting more into that zone. And this will really expand it. So it's Jupiter in your first house right now is going to be great. Trining this. This is like you discovering your personal philosophy. That's what this really is. And you will, you certainly will. There's just no doubt about it. You will really change the way you think about the whole world in this period, and the way you think about yourself, the way you see yourself. You'll be more positive, more optimistic, more forgiving of yourself in this period, which will be great stuff. And in the ninth house, that Mercury retrograde, you will be thinking about travel. What does it mean to me? Do you want to travel? How can I travel? Things like that. These are sort of some of the questions. I don't necessarily see that you will be traveling because it's a retrograde, but you'll be, that trine from the first is very strong. So you could be traveling. But this is more, the way I see it, this is more thinking about traveling. This is more, what does travel mean to me? What does education mean to me? What does spirituality even mean, man? This is the theme, and it's very good. It's very, you've got a channel open now for wisdom, divine wisdom to come into your life. So chase that channel. Venus going through the 10th, so you're looking good. Your public image is beautiful. People are respecting you. People are in awe of your beauty. Aphrodite is the enchantress. People are enchanted by you. You're magnetic right now in your career. Trining the moon in the second, so this very similar to what was it? I can't remember which sign. Was it Capricorn or something? Virgo? I don't remember now. You'll use this full moon and this Venus in the 10th house to make new money. Make new money. Yeah, it can be, but make money. It's a new cycle of, or you're actually ending a cycle of a way of making money. A certain value that you put on yourself or your services or things like that. So you definitely want to make the most of that trine there, actually, because you will be very beautiful in the career space, in the public figure space. And that is a great opportunity for you to capitalize on, because people will be magnetically drawn to you and they're going to want to spend money on whatever it is you're offering. So that is very cool. And great. That's Aquarius. Pisces. Mercury retrograde in the 8th house. So, wow, that's deep. And Venus through the 9th and the full moon in the 1st. So Pisces, you guys will be having this trine between the 8th house and the 12th house. Mercury retrograde in the 8th. So you're going deep. And I know you guys like to go there. You guys are going real deep this time. You guys are getting an opportunity to really channel some pure wisdom that will heal you psychologically, that will heal your friggin' brain. The very neurons in your brain, it will heal you. So definitely enjoy that. Venus going through the 9th, so you may be looking very, this is really about, this can be like a relationship abroad again. Funny thing, or like meeting, it's beautiful women overseas, or harmonious people from overseas. We're definitely having some of that going on here, and that will trine the full moon, which is in your first. So it's definitely going to it's probably something about social media or the way you portray yourself in the world, or it can be your job, whatever it is. it's you're coming to a completion with your public image, the way that you appear, with the way that you even present yourself, the way you think about yourself, and that is being that is complementing and being complemented by this kind of being harmonious with people overseas, or being harmonious with highly educated people, with religious people as well. This could be an interesting time to even like join a spiritual community of some sort, to learn, to study something, to study spirituality more at a deeper level. And that Mercury retrograde in the 8th, trying the 12th, is all about that. It's all about, how does spirituality affect me personally? How does it change my life from the inside out? How does it rebirth me? Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave that video there, and I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. My page is Olympus Astrology, so check that out. And I hope to see you again soon.